Hello, my name is Randy Collins. I'm from Santa Ana, California. I'm here in Washington, D.C. this week to bring awareness to the international child abduction issue. I became a member of this club on June 16, 2008, when my wife, Reiko Nakata Greenberg Collins, violated Superior Court orders and removed our son not only out of the county, but also fled back to Japan. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my life, knowing the things that I have found out over the last 9 months, which is more than I ever thought I would. That Japan is the #1 offender of international child abductions by a non-Hague country. 22% of the parental abductions are committed by a Japanese citizen. Japan, the government, apparently doesn't care about the other parent. They only care about the one that does the kidnapping. I don't know exactly what else to say other than we need to bring awareness to this issue. We need to get our government to take this more seriously. We need them to hold Japan accountable to what's happened with our children, just as North Korea expects Japan to be accountable for 17 adults that were kidnapped almost 30 years ago. All the while, Japan is supporting, sanctioning, and condoning the abduction of over 20,000 children in the past 10 years. It's a silent, call it a silent situation that nobody knows about. I certainly didn't know about it until 9.5 months ago. This is probably something that my wife has been planning for a number of years, in looking at her previous papers from another marriage and what she was doing during our marriage, stealing money, alienating the children from the father, further alienating both of us fathers from the children now. It is a hard thing to have to fathom. It's mind-boggling to me that our government has no problem sending troops to Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan and Pakistan to fight for the liberties of the citizens of that country, but they won't fight for the liberties and the constitutional rights of our children. I don't know what else to say.
How long were you married to your wife?
Reiko and I we're still married. We were married 8 years in September. We were dating 2 years prior to that. Before we got married, we used to do a lot of things together. Did a lot of traveling, had fun with her friends, my friends, but it seems that there's kind of like a manual of what happens between Japanese women and the men after they get married. Their entire persona changes. All of a sudden it was she didn't want to go anywhere, do anything. All she wanted was a child. And once she got the child, it was just, I ended up with basically a roommate. I had taken her daughter in just as my daughter, a daughter from a previous marriage. Her daughter went to one of the best private schools in the state, private violin and piano lessons. Went to Japan every summer to visit Reiko's parents, which is, by the way, where she is now living, is with her mom and dad. That address just happens to be 31915 Asahi Gaoka, Asahigaoka, in Chiba, Japan, zip code 284. If anybody would like to write to them, I'm sure they would like to hear the type of daughter that they have raised. The parents' names are Ken and Miyuki Nakata. They should be really proud of raising a daughter that is now an international fugitive. Again, I took her daughter in just as my own daughter. In fact, we were just here 2 years ago in Washington, D.C., where her daughter had begged me to become a chaperone to go with her on her 8th grade field trip here to D.C. 2 years ago. The way I found out about her abducting my son was that on a Monday, the day after Father's Day, which happened to be the last day that I ever saw or heard my son, my wife had called me, left a message on my voicemail telling me that my son was not feeling well, and we would make it up another day, and she thanked me for that. And I went by on Thursday to pick him up, and there was no answer at the door. I was supposed to pick him up at about noon, and I called several times throughout the day. I'd known that she had had a doctor's appointment that day, so I just figured that she had forgotten about it or got busy or whatever. But by late in the afternoon, it didn't seem right. I called my attorney at 4:45 on June 19th, told her something wasn't right. My attorney called her attorney. Her attorney said that I can't talk to you. I have been on the phone with the ethics board, the legal ethics board. It ends up that she knew about my wife abducting my son on that Monday when she had left. She had, Reiko, my wife, had destroyed the inside of my house. When I had entered the house, all the clothes were gone. Pretty much everything except for the big furniture was gone. She had left a couple of cats in the house, didn't even care enough to take care of them. It was an extremely hard night. I had called her only friend that she had left here to find out what was going on, and her friend told me that she couldn't tell me anything and then hung up on me, in which case I called the police department. The police department arrived, talked with Reiko's attorney and talked with her friend. Both confirmed that Reiko had called her from the Seattle airport and that she had already left. And this is, she had left on Monday. On that previous Friday, June 13th, I had obtained a restraining order that our son was not to leave Orange County, California.